Let us look at one other program over here. In this program, we are supposed to calculate the salary of the employee. That is, we are supposed to produce the pay slip for the employee. However, we are supposed to use an interface that contains the details of PF, LIC, DA, and so on and so forth. Also, we have to extend an employee class that contains basic information like employee name and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and let's create this particular exercise. I'm going to go to my NetBeans and I'm going to click on the file new project. I'm going to start a Java application and let me click next, and I'm going to say employee payslip. You can use any name there. So I have created the project here. Let me go to the project, and I have the employee payslip project with me. Let me go to this particular package over here and right click on it and then say new Java interface. I'm going to start with an interface. I'm going to call this as iSalary. So that will be my interface. Let me click finish, and in this one I'm going to go here and I'm going to add a few of the variable. So let me declare a few of them. So double DA, which is let me say 40%. So even though I'm not putting the percentage, it just means to say that it is 40%. HRA, let's say 20%, and let's say provident fund, let's say double, and provident fund double, and provident fund, let me say this is 25%, whatever it is, you can take any number, and let's say double, and income tax, let's say 10%, and maybe double, and let's say LIC, and let's say it is also 10%. There is a method, so let me say double, and this method does not return anything, void, and I'm going to say calculate pay. This is the method that I'm going to use. So this method, what is the problem? Sorry, this is not double. Okay, this is void, and this method does not return anything, and this is the name of the method. Let's go ahead and let me save it, and let me go to the next part, and that is I'm going to go to my project, and in my project I'm going to right click and say new, and I'm going to say class. So I'm creating a new class. So what did I do? Right click on here, new, and a class. Let me call this one as employee class. So employee class. Let me click finish. This class will contain basic information about the employee, such as the employee code, which is integer. I'll call this as e code, and employee name, let me say string, e name, and employee designation, say e designation. There is going to be a constructor that is going to take up the details. So I will press Control space, and I'm going to double click on it to create a constructor. So NetBeans, if you Control space it in the empty place, NetBeans will do the needful thing. And I have the constructor with me. So constructor is created, then I need something else with me, and that is I'm going to create a public void method. So void, and I'm going to say show details of the employees. So let's say show details of the employees. This method does not take anything. Let me create this method and say yes out, and I'm going to just put this one, and then say details, employee details. Okay, so that's it, and then I'm going to go to the next line, and I'm going to say yes out, and I'm going to put one dash dash dash, and so that it looks slightly beautiful, and then I'm going to press enter. Let me bring it slightly here, and then I'm going to say yes out, and the first one I'm going to say the code of the employee /t, then the name of the employee /t, and the designation of the employee. With this I'm going to just print all of them one after the other. So you have the e code plus /t for the tab, plus ename plus I have /t and e designation. So that's it. So I have created that much. So this is going to be the details of the employee. With that the employee class is completed. Let me go ahead and let me add one more class. So I'm going to go to my project where I have the package of the project, and right click and then say new, and one more class called as employee salary. So I'm going to create that employee salary. So this will be the merger of the existing two classes. That is the, I have the employee class which I have already created, that is the employee class I have just created. So I'm going to say this is going to extend, so this is going to extend the employee class, and this will implement, not only that, implements I salary. So this is going to implement I salary. Once I do it, I have to do some few things. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it and I'm going to say abstract, implement all the abstract methods. So there is one method in my I salary that is called as calculate pay. I have to implement that because I said I will implement I salary, so that's required. So let me click on it and let me implement that method. Now this particular class will have additional fields. So these additional fields include employee account number. So this is the additional thing, and the date. I will press Control space here. The date is from java.utilities. So if you look at that, there is an import statement java.utility.date. So this is date, and this refers to the date of join where the employee has joined. And also I'm going to use the double, and I'm going to call the basic salary. So basic salary, I'm going just to use e date of join, just to make the things look like all are e, starting from all e. So this looks something different. Okay, then I need a constructor. Let me put the semicolon. I need a constructor. Now if you press Control space, let me do it once. If you press the Control space, you are going to see the constructor being created for you, but don't do this one. It's going to repeat sometime. It's going to repeat the things which are not really good. So I'm going to this time, even though NetBeans is helping me with the constructor, I'm not going to use that, but I'm going to use the manual. I'm going to manually type the employee salary constructor. Now this constructor is going to take a lot of fields. First of all, int the code of the employee, then string the name of the employee, then string designation of the employee. Let me make it as a designation. Then it's going to take a lot of things. After that it's going to take int the account number of the employee, and maybe date and date of join of the employee, and also we have the last one that is double, and that is basic of the employee. So it's going to take a lot of things. So you have this constructor is going to take a lot of things. Let me press enter, and you have everything being created, okay, for me. And let me call the super here, and if you Control space it here with the super, when you type the super and Control space it, and NetBeans will do the needful thing. Now it's going to do the needful thing. So that is employee code, employee name, and this one. Now I'm going to supply the code, I'm going to supply the name, and I'm going to supply the designation. So designation, designation. So what did I wrote to the designation. So these things I am supplying it to the base constructor. So in the base constructor you have these things, employee code, employee name and employee designation. That is for the employee class. I am supplying these values, and the remaining one I am going to say e account number is equal to account number. So that's done. E date of join, so e date of join is equal to date of join. Okay, and the last one e basic is equal to basic. Okay, so that's for this constructor. And now let me do the other part, and that is in this I am supposed to calculate the net and gross salary. So as far as the question, we are supposed to calculate the salary of the employee, and that is we are supposed to get the details about the gross salary and net salary. So let me say double, and I'm going to say gross salary, and I'm going to say net salary. Okay, two things I'm supposed to calculate. So let's say I'm supposed to calculate. I will do that thing. So let me go to the method which does that thing, calculation. So I'm going to go here, which method that I have already overridden. So this method, I'm going to go here, and I will remove that remark. There is one line added by the NetBeans. I'm going to remove it. Here I'm going to do the actual calculation. So let me calculate a few things. First one, I'm going to calculate a few details, that is DA, HRA, and we have IT, and we have Provident Fund, and we have LIC. These calculation I have to do it. Now these values are already there. The percentage of them is already there in the I salary. Look at this one. This is a 40%. So whatever value this is given, 40% of the basic. So 20% of the basic and so on. So these are the percentage that is given. You have to do the calculation based on what value which is given over here. So this is the one that you are supposed to do it. Now just to make the difference between these two things, which is written in small case and the other one written in the capital, which is there in the I interface. So these values, just to differentiate between them, I am going to make this one as E, 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 and all of them as E. The reason why I did that thing, I'm going to show you what is the reason I did that thing. So even though I thought some of you have common sense and some of you don't really have that common sense when you are writing the program. Now DA is this is equal to 40% of that. So how do I do that thing? So E basic is there. So the 40% of that must be there. Now what is this 40%? Tomorrow it may be 90%. In that case you must be this is the percentage that is been given over there. So DA is given there. So if you type D and if you type DA, you're going to get that DA by 100. So this is what you are supposed to do it. So this DA is coming from not the DA which is declared over here. It is coming from the I salary. Why did I do that thing is surprisingly I was looking at the Raksha's project over here, that is the printout that she has given to me, and she has done a very terribly wrong thing. What did she do is she has taken this in a small case. Now if you take this one as small case, this is going to take the value from your local DA. You know very well default value for double is 0. So you won't get any error, but it's going to multiply it with the 0. So 0 into basic, it's going to make it as 0, and you know very well you are multiplying it, not dividing it. Okay, that's the other mistake that you have done. You should have taken this DA from the first method here. This is the DA. This, remember, Java is case sensitive. You take a wrong value, you will end up in big trouble. I'll show you what the problem she is encountering at the end of the video. What some of you might have copied from her, and all of you are in much bigger trouble if you follow this one. So this is not 40%. This is the default value of basic, which is 0. Default value of any numerical value is 0. So 0 into you are not supposed to into, you are supposed to divide it. 0 divided by 100, which you are not going to get anything. You are going to end up in much bigger trouble with that. So let's go ahead and let's with that simple note, let me go ahead with my work here. So this is DA from not from the local, it is from the I salary. So you should have taken it from there. So let's say EHRA. So that's why I'm making it as EHRA, because some of you are not very careful about what you're doing. So basic into, now HRA, again this is in capital, divided by 100. The last one is IT, income tax, is again E basic into IT. Remember, this is from the all these values, IT capital value, I'm taking it from the interface. So then I have the EPF, so provident fund is E basic into PF capital value, PF divided by 100, and then I have the ELIC, which is nothing but E basic into PF into not PF into LIC, and divided by 100. Okay, now I have to calculate, I have this value. Now let me calculate the gross salary. So the gross salary happens to be E basic plus EHRA, basic plus DA plus HRA. Let's say DA, EDA plus EHRA. So that is the gross salary. What is net salary? Net salary happens to be whatever gross salary you have calculated, gross salary minus the deduction. So what are the deduction that you have left with? The IT is one deduction, income tax is the deduction, provident fund contribution is the deduction. I will add it. Provident fund is the deduction, and the last one is LIC is the deduction. This bracket is required. So this bracket is required. Without this bracket, only the first one will be deducted, rest will be there as it is. So you have calculated everything. Now let me add, so this will end up the everything. Let me add the one more method. So I'm going to say I'm coming out of this method over here. So let me go here, and I'm coming out of this method where I've calculated the DHR and all those things. I am coming out of that method, and now I am writing one more method. So this method is over. Let me write one more method, public void show salary details. You can type anything of your choice, that's the name of the method. So let me do this S out, and I'm going to say salary details, and yes out, and I'm going to do this part. Okay, so let me do it here, and let me show that thing here, and I'm going to show the details about the salary. So what are the things I'm going to show here is I'm going to show the employee code, that is account number. I'll just make it as account number, and /t, and the date of join, /t. I think then I have the basic, if at all you want it, basic salary, basic /t, gross /t, and the last one that I'm supposed to do is the what you have net. okay, net salary, whatever you are doing it, let me salary. Okay, so let me just verify whether I am taking the basic here. So if I'm taking the basic, okay, I'm taking that basic, okay, that's good. Let's go ahead and let's print the value. So s out, and I'm going to just put dash 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 here, and then I'm going to print yes out, and this is just manually printing all the fields here. So the first field I'm going to print is account number, that is E, I think, account number plus slash T plus date of join, E date of join, and if you just type date of join, it's going to create a problem. And I will go with the local string. Okay, if it is not coming, let me change that later. Then slash T, and then after that you have one more, that is E basic. Okay, E basic. Then I have slash T. Then I have one more thing. What I have is the gross salary. So gross salary, and one more thing, plus slash T. Okay, slash T, let me put it in double quotes, slash T, and what I have there is net salary. Okay, so that's it, that's all I need to do. So this is going to print everything. Now only thing I need to do is get all them into action. Let me go to the main method here, that is the emp salary class, which is the class which is created by default, and that is the emp payslip class, whatever the name you have given. Let me go to the main method and let me do the last part, and I need almost all variables for my calculation. So let me say int the code of the employee, the account number of the employee that I needed. Then I need a string, and what else I need is the name of the employee and designation of the employee, and what else I need, let me say, I don't remember the other part. Let me say double, and I need the basic salary of the employee. That much I require. What else I need is the other part is the date. In control space it and get it from the java.utilities. So you need to import this statement java.utility into the class. So, and I'm going to say date of join. Do I need anything else? So employee name, employee code, designation, account number, date of join, and basic. Okay, that much information is required. Apart from that, I need the scanner class for all my input. So I'm going to say scanner input is equal to new scanner class, that I require it. Then I'm going to say system dot in. I need this one for all my input. Then onwards I'm going to take up all the details. So s out, you can say s out, and enter, if you want you can say enter employee details, and if at all you want it, then it's not really required during the examination, but still you can do it. So I will start with the employee code. Okay, employee code, entire employee code. Let's say employee code is the first one to be used. I'm going to use print rather than print ln. So let me put that thing, and then I have the code is obtained from input dot next int. That's it. Then I need a few other things. Let me copy paste it, and then I'm going to do it. So after this I need one other thing. Employee code is over employee name, and I need the name there. So what is the name? I gave a name, and it must be input dot next line. Now if you're not familiar with this kind of thing, you can always type it on your own, but I strongly suggest you that you use the Control C Control B option, which is far easier. Now remember this, if you are reading a name and then the integer then a string, one extra input statement is required, input dot next line. So remember that, always remember, whenever you are reading a string from integer or double, just to do one extra reading, just to get rid of that enter sign and do that thing. So you have this one, and then yes out, and then I'm going to say designation. I think I will make it as simple, even simple for you during the examination. That's not really required. You are adding the details of the employee. So code name designation, and then you need this designation. How do I get this designation? So I'm going to say Control C here, and I have this designation equal to this designation. So that I have done. Then what else I need is the other information, such as I need the account number. So let me do that thing from here, because it is an integer. I am taking the integer output here, that is for the code. Same thing, I'm going to just copy paste it. So what else I need is the account number, and then here that is account number. So that's a good thing. And then I need the date here. So date of join, DOJ, I'm going to say. Now this date of join, DOJ, cannot be directly given. So look at here, you need to convert it into string. So into date. So I'm going to say new date. I'll call the constructor new date, okay, from the java.utilities. And I'm going to pass a string here. So look at the way I'm doing it. So this is a bit tricky here. So you first read the date, and how do you read the date is next line, okay, and then do it. Now because this constructor, when you get this kind of dash, it means this constructor is not being used now, okay. So don't worry about it. Let's go and let's remember one other thing. Whenever you are reading a date after reading a string, just read as usual. Get rid of the extra enter sign here. So when you are reading a number here, after that there will be that enter sign, that is going to create a problem. So you are just reading it one extra time to get rid of that enter sign. You know very well, you type 1 2 3 4 and press enter. That enter will not be taken, it will be there in the buffer and it will be given to the next input. That's the reason you are simply reading one extra line just to get rid of that enter. So this with this the things are not over. And the last thing that I need is one other thing, and that is the basic salary. So I'm going to say basic salary, okay, that's it. And I will not read it as basic. I'm going to say basic is nothing but double. I'm reading it as double. Let's say double. So in next double. So let's say input dot next double. Okay, so that's it. So I have all the input with me. Let me create the class now. So how do I create the class? So the class that I'm supposed to create is for the employee salary. So let me create an employee salary class. So employee salary es is equal to new employee salary. And most of the time the things will go fine with the NetBeans, because it's going to know that you are taking the code name, designation, account number, basic, and date of join. If everything goes fine, the NetBeans will do the needful thing for you. And then only thing you need to do is from the ES show the details of the employee, then ES do the calculation, show the calculate the pay, and last one yes, show the salary details. That's all you need to do. Hope you have done with all these things. The things should work. Let me give it a try, and I'm going to just run this project. You can run the project. So I have the project running here. Employee code, let me say 101, and employee name, say Nandini, and let's say designation, manager. Account number is say 111, and the date is so what is today's date, 03/02/2021. I'm going to put one date which will work. Okay, basic salary is 10,000. So this is 100, this is 1000, this is 10,000. Press enter, and you must be able to get the details over here. So if it is not coming properly, it's all right. Don't worry about all those things over here. So what you notice is basic is this much, and the gross salary, if you want, you put extra tab here to make it look beautiful. Then gross salary is 16,000, and net salary is 15,000. Now I'm going to talk about Rakshita. What is the problem? Now, because you made this mistake of taking DA from the local variable, that is from here, when you took the printout, you are not given a second thought about what is coming over here. So you notice that your basic salary is 35,000. For the basic, you are adding something. Now if you notice the code, if you have observed the code properly, you add something to the basic. So what is gross salary? You add something. Even if you add 1 rupee to that, 1 rupee should have been increased, and what you notice over here is it is not increasing. And then the last thing that you are doing here is you are deducting something. You are deducting the income tax, provident fund, LIC, and also. So that means some value should have been reduced from the basic. But you notice something, it is the same value that is coming. The reason for it is you are just multiplying everywhere. You are multiplying. If you look at your code over here, this is not really required, because DA, the default value is 0. 0 into anything will be 0. This is 0, this is 0, this is 0, this is 0. So you are adding many zeros and you are subtracting many zeros. Nothing is going to happen, and you will end up in the same value as that of the basic. I don't know how many others have taken the same printout. If so, you have to change your printout. This is not the correct procedure. So in my case, if you look at the output over here, and if you notice the thing, even though the tab are not proper, you notice over here 1,000 rupees, 10,000 was my basic, and because I add something, the gross will be 16,000. That means something more than basic. And from the gross I reduce the net salary, something I am deducting, so it's going to come back to something else. So be careful with what you are doing. That's all. And I don't know others what you have done. I've not gone through your all the codes there. If you have done a mistake, take the reprinter and then submit it. Thank you for your interest. I'm going to stop the video here.